Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Just making sure I got everybody in, and I've invited all my groups in. So welcome to our Facebook Live this evening. Yep, I see some friends coming on here. Excellent. Let me know you're here. Slight bit early. While we're waiting, we can go ahead and announce our winners from our winner from last week. Okay. In our giveaway for last week, for those friends that shared my Facebook Live to their own page, a winner is Mary Hildebrand. And Mary is going to win a little sample pack of the Follow Your Art paper. So thank you, Mary, for sharing. And I'm going to also throw in one of my little backpacks that I made last week. And it's in the Follow Your Art, uses the Follow Your Art DSP as well. So there you go. And that, I know, Mary, I know your address, so I will go ahead and send that off to you. So congratulations to Mary. And while going through some of my goodies today and cleaning out a little bit, I found another paper pumpkin unopened. There's some months that I get more than one, and this was another one. This was a celebration of the 5-year anniversary. So this one is from last spring, but it's still a fantastic kit, and I'm going to give this one away today. So if you share my Facebook Live to your own Facebook page, and I will put you into a drawing to win this paper pumpkin kit. These are awesome. Just ask Renee, right, Renee? Are you on here yet? I wonder. I'm trying to see who's on here. Anybody? I see the 7, but I don't see any comments yet. So I'm still waiting for my comments. All right. So please share and to your own page, and you will be eligible to win this fabulous paper pumpkin kit. All right, so let's put that away. A couple more announcements I'd like to make. Welcome, everybody. The new catalogs have come to my door, and I am ready to hand them out to those of you that are interested. So if you would like a Stampin' Up! Holiday catalog, please message me. You can message me right in the comments here if you like, or you can email me, contact me any way you want. I'm going to be sending these out next week. They are fabulous. Can't show you the inside yet, but I will be sending them out, and the product will go live on September 4th that you can start ordering. So there you go. What I can do is give you a little bit of a sneak peek. And I met with my team yesterday, and we made a couple of projects out of the new catalog. And here's something we made using one of the Halloween sets. Okay, it's called the Monster Bash Suite, and it's a little candy treat holder. And it says, "Have a spooktacular Halloween." And it's made out of a little tag topper punch. So that was one little project we made together. And then the We Gather suite is another gorgeous suite. This one is one of the Thanksgiving suites or the fall theme suites. And this was a card that we made using that. Just beautiful, beautiful paper. And there are little dies that you can cut out leaves and pumpkins, and it's just gorgeous. So we made these cards together. And then the last one, we did squeeze in a Christmas card. And I know everybody's thinking about Christmas cards already. Not. And we used Perfectly Plaid to make this one. And the paper is from the Twal Tidings. So we're just getting started. There's so much in this catalog that's gorgeous that I haven't really had a chance to get in there and really start working. But these were 3 little projects that we made as a team yesterday just to get us started with the new catalog. 2 other things I'd like to share. There has been a post on my Facebook page about a holiday catalog designer series paper share. And we are offering that again, and it is $22, and you get 72 pieces of the new designer series papers for the holidays. And they will come to you. If you remember Mary's little pack here that she's winning, this is the exact same way that all your samples will come. Each one of the designer series paper stacks will be packaged up in a little plastic, and then they'll have the catalog number and the name of that catalog suite on there for the DSP name. And you will be getting there's 6 new packets of DSP. You'll be getting 12 6x6s out of each. That's 72 pieces of designer series paper, and that's $22. So if you're interested, that again, you can message me about that, and I'd be glad to help you out. Also, one last thing, and then we will get started, I promise. I am having a Cards, Carols, and Cupcakes event, and this is for those of you that are really thinking about wanting to make your own Christmas cards this year. We get started very early here. In fact, we have dates in September already to start making the cards. And each event, you will make 15 cards with envelopes, and it's 3 each of 5 different designs. And that will cost you $30, or all your cards will be free with a $50 catalog order. So we actually have 6 different dates for our Cards, Carols, and Cupcakes. So I will post this again on my Facebook page after my Facebook Live here. And if you are interested, please let me know so we can make sure we cut and prep enough for everyone. These are very, very well-attended events. And I know it's kind of early to start on them, but if you get started now and work a little bit at a time, they get done before Christmas is on top of us. So let me know if you're interested in that, and I will post more about that later. All right, very good. All right, I think we are ready to get started. And welcome again, everyone. And tonight we are going to work on the last of my back to school projects, which is the pencil treat box. Okay, the eraser comes off the end, and you're going to put your little treats inside there. Okay, so we will get started with this. And please remember that after this Facebook Live broadcast, I will be putting this recording on my blog, and my blog will have all the measurements and everything that you need to make this project. So don't worry about trying to write down different measurements or whatever. Everything will be there for you. All right, let's get started. Okay. First thing we're going to need is a piece of Mango Melody. Mango Melody is the name of this paper. This is the perfect number 2 pencil color. I know it a mile away because I'm a teacher. This is the color of a number 2 pencil for sure. And I cut this paper at 8.5 by 8. All right, now we're going to do some scoring. So let me get my Simply Scored scoring tool up here. All right, and we're going to go on the long side first. So there's the 8-inch side. Here is the 8.5-inch side. Okay, on the long side, we're going to score at 1/2. I am not getting any comments, so please, I'm not being rude. I hope everybody, if you have a question, it will eventually pop up, but I'm not seeing any comments at this point. So let's get back. We're at 1/2. Then I'm going to score at 2.5, then 4.5, then 6.5. Okay, so it's 1/2, 2.5, 4.5, 6.5. Okay, then I'm going to turn my paper clockwise, and I'm going to score my paper at 6 inches. Okay, that's all the scoring we have. But now we have to go back and we're going to make some tick marks. So let's go ahead back to the top here where these 4 panels are. These are the 4 panels that are going to make up the 4 sides of the pencil box. Now, but we are going to need to make the point on the pencil. Let me turn it this way. I have the paper at the wrong place. We want the end that has the scored line that goes across, because this is going to be the part that's going to be made into the pencil. So you're going to have your thin rectangle here, the 1/2 inch rectangle here, and then you're going to have that 2-inch score line here. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to put a tick mark at the center of each of these panels. So if this panel is 2 inches wide, we're going to put a tick mark at the 1. Okay, this one goes from 2 to 4, so we put a tick mark at the 3. Okay, this one goes from 4 to 6, we put a tick mark at the 5. This one goes from 6 to 8, we put a tick mark at the 7. So the tick marks go at 1, 3, 5, 7, all the odd numbers. All right, okay, so that is, for now, all the scoring we're going to do with the board. All right, so let's take a look at our paper here. Okay, I have my score marks all ready. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a marker to kind of show off to you where all these points are, because they're kind of hard to see. So these are the tick marks, okay, that we just made, okay, with the scoring board. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to use the scoring tool that we had from the scoring board, and we're going to draw a diagonal line. Okay, so we're going to start over here first on the right side. This is the side right beside the thin 1/2 inch rectangle. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a ruler. We're going to put our score on that dot or on where that tick mark was. And then we're going to guide it up to where that corner is. Okay, so let me show you that. I'll get it closer to you. Okay, so here's our tick mark, and I made a score line up to the corner, the left-hand corner of that rectangle. Can you see that? I'm hoping you can. All right, now let me do that again. I'm going to put my score on the tick mark, and then I'm going to go right up to that corner. Okay, so you're moving up to the left-hand corner on all 4 of those squares at the bottom. Okay, let me see if you can see that any better. I'm going to take my blender pen and I'm going to kind of, so you'll be able to see it. Because this is very light paper, makes it kind of hard to see. Okay, so there, this is the 2-inch one that we scored, and then here are the tick marks, and then we took a scoring tool and we scored from the tick mark to the top left-hand corner. Okay, all right, now we're going to do some cutting. I'm going to go ahead and get my scissors, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut off this tiny little rectangle on the end at the bottom. Okay. All right, now this side here is going to be folded because we scored it. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to cut off from the other. So I am going to eyeball from the tick mark, and I'm going to cut directly up to the right-hand corner. Okay. Do the same thing again. I'm going to go to this tick mark. I'm going to cut directly up to that right-hand corner, and then I'm going to cut that piece off. Okay, same thing again. All right, I'm going to go to this tick mark, going to cut up to the right-hand corner, and then I'm going to cut that section off. So I'm cutting out a little piece of the pie there. Okay, last one here. I'm going to cut up to the corner there and cut that piece off. Okay, so now when I crease crease all the score lines, you're going to understand a little better why we did it that way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start creasing all those score lines for you. All right, now on this score line, we're just going to crease it back. Okay, that's gonna get creased back. Okay, so let's turn it this way. So all these pieces have been pushed back because, let me show you, those are gonna start coming together behind each other and they're gonna make the point of the box, okay? So now that I've kind of showed you that, I'm gonna put that one aside and I'm gonna bring out a fresh one here that doesn't have the score lines on it. I mean the lines from the pen on it, okay? So now we have all our sections that we scored. They're all creased and folded down, okay? We have our edge here, creased and folded down. Okay, now, before we fold it up and construct it, we're gonna go ahead and make our pencil. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put in these pieces of crumb cake. And let me show you how I did that. I took a piece of paper like this, and I took a pencil, and I just went to one of the triangles here, okay? And I put it down on the paper, and I kind of traced around it, okay? And then I took my scissors, and I cut it out like that, okay? And that's gonna cover that spot right there. And we might have to trim it a little bit, but it at least gets us started. So what you wanna do is you wanna measure, trace, and then cut out 4 of these, and that's what I did right here, okay? Actually, there's 5. So before we put it together, we wanna go ahead and put on the little, I guess this is the wood that shows through right above the lead. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my Tombow, and I'm gonna put that down on each of these triangles. And if it hangs off a little bit, I can turn it over and I can trim that off. That's not a problem. So let's get these on first and then we can trim if we need to. All right, here goes a second one. Right there. That one's a good shot. That one's almost exactly where it should be. All right, and a third one. Hope everybody's having a good month. I can't believe it's time for school to start. I saw the school buses going around in my neighborhood today. People are ready, getting ready for school, and all my school friends are starting to get highly anxious. But yeah, it's going to be starting here in less than 2 weeks. My daughter goes back to college in 2 weeks, so it's getting ready, getting started. All right, so those are the 4 triangles we put on. I'm going to turn it over here and take a look on the back, and it looks like this one here is the only one that's kind of hanging over a little bit. So I'm going to trim that a little bit. Okay. All right, so we have our pencil wood on there now. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is we're going to get out our tear and tape. We need to use the tear and tape because it is the best tape for holding on to 3D projects, especially this one, because this one is gonna have candy inside of it. So we wanna make sure that it's nice and sturdy. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put pieces of tear and tape along these flaps real close to where the score line is, because we want that to adhere real close so we don't have any bowing or sticking out. So I want to make sure that I have my tear and tape really close to that score line there. Okay, and one more. Okay, so those are the places that we want to put the score tape. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to trim it off a little bit here. Okay, trim here. They don't need to be hanging over like that. Okay, and then to make the construction a little easier, I'm also going to cut off the rest of this flap. Okay, so the only part of the flap that's going to go flap under the triangle is the part that has the tear and tape on, because I cut off the other sections. I hope that makes sense. All right, that's going to make it easier for them to come together. There won't be a lot of bulk behind. All right, so I think we're ready now to go ahead and assemble. So let's go ahead and take the tear and tape off the long edge first. Come on, there we go. Okay, now when we do that, then we're just going to fold over the next score line from that edge and then just fold in the other side of the pencil. And that gives you a nice, clean corner. All right, so you don't have to worry to try and sticking that together. It makes it easy to get a nice clean corner. All right, so our pencil is together. All right, now for this portion, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to take off all the tear and tape that we put on each of the triangle sections. Okay. Oh, tear and tape on live. Facebook Live can be a little challenging with no fingernails, but I'm getting there. Okay, there we go. One more. Come on, give me some love. I can do it, I can do it. There we go. All right, so I've got all 4 tabs tear and tape ready to go. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this triangle and I'm gonna take the tab and place it behind the triangle beside it. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna take that tab and I'm gonna fold it back behind the triangle beside it. You notice how it's starting to come together and make a point. Okay, now this is the trickiest one because you gotta stick it on one side and then stick the tab in the other. So you wanna stick the tab in first and then you want to adhere it to the other tab. There we go. So there's our point. That's how easy it is. All right, and then to finish off the point, what I did is I took my black marker and I just took the felt end and I kind of colored in the point of the pencil. Not trying to make it real fancy because that's going to be kind of irregular there. And I just kind of colored in the point at the bottom of each triangle. Okay, so there we go. What do you think? We're doing great so far. I was trying really, really hard to do a good job describing because I know it can be challenging. And I did put some pictures on my blog. So if you need a little more help, hopefully the pictures on the blog will help with that too. All right, now we're ready to make the eraser part. And the color I found to be the best color for the eraser of a number 2 pencil was the Flirty Flamingo. And I have a 5x5 sheet of Flirty Flamingo. All right, now to make the lid, we're going to take that 5x5 sheet and we're going to go ahead and we're going to score on each side at 1.5. 1.5. 1.5. 1.5. 1.5. Ooh, is this right? Hold on. Did I do the right size? 2, 5. All right, I'm doubting myself here. Keep going, Barb. 2.5. Okay, 1.5. I'm sorry. So I did 1.5 all the way around. Okay, that's all we're going to need for that. So this is just kind of like making a box. You've made lots of boxes with me before. I'm just going to fold up all the sides. Okay, looks kind of like a tic-tac-toe board if you look at it. Okay, this is the way that you're going to cut into the tabs to form the edges of the box. So we're going to, on the right-hand side, on the vertical score line, you're going to cut up to the first horizontal score line and stop. And then I like to give it a little bit of a wedge. Okay, so that's the first one. I'm going to turn my paper one time, counterclockwise, do the same thing again. Up to that spot. Then I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit of a wedge. Okay, that's going to help it fit into the corner much cleaner. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I turned my paper and I'm going to cut it up to the first score line and then make a wedge. Okay, last of all, last one. I'm going to cut up. I'm going to wedge it. And there we go. All right, so if you look at this, it's just going to kind of come together like this. Come on, you. and then it's going to go on the box like this. All right, so let me go ahead and put it together. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit of the Tombow on all the tabs. You guys have made these boxes with me before. Okay, I'm going to fold that tab behind and squeeze. Fold that tab behind and squeeze. It's just like making a regular old box lid. Okay, fold it behind and squeeze. And then on the last one. Okay, so there is our eraser. But before we can put it on, we've got to go ahead. If you look at my one here, I added a piece of the foil specialty paper, because you know that little metal band around the pencil before you get to the eraser part. Now let me see. Oh yeah. Okay, so I cut it at 1/2 inch. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to put some tear and tape on the back. And then I'm just going to kind of wrap it around the bottom of my eraser end. And I'm not really sure how far I'm going to need, so I guess we'll find out. All right, so I'm going to take that off. Okay, now I'm going to take my box and I'm going to go ahead and start on one end, and I'm just going to place it down. And then when I get to that corner, I want to kind of give it a good crease there, and then continue around. Lay it down here and crease it. Same thing here, crease. All right, and then I'm coming to my last side. I'm just going to go all the way to the end of this side. Cut it off a little bit, and then I'm going to bring that tied around. So there we go. There is our eraser top. Okay, so let me go ahead and get the pencil back in. So here's our pencil, all finished. Here's our top. I'm gonna put that on. Okay, so there's our pencil all finished. Okay, we have one more thing to do, and it's a little bit of stamping. And I'm gonna be using a piece of Mango Melody that is 1/2 inch by 3 1/4 inch. Okay, and I'm going to be using this stamp set. It's called Above the Clouds, and it's You're Off to Great Places. And I think that's a great inspirational sentiment for that first day of school. Getting everybody excited about a new year of school, new teachers, new chances to do well. So it's a great, great inspirational sentiment. I'm going to just take some Memento ink and I'm going to just stamp right in the center of the strip. Then I'm going to take a couple of, all right, I need some, here we go, dimensionals. I'm going to turn that over and just put 2 dimensionals on the back like that. And take off the backings. And then this is going to go right on the box, just a little bit below. You want to make sure you put the lid on before you put your sentiment on so that you're not going to be running into that. So there you go. There is the box. Didn't take me very long at all today to do that. Let's see how much time. Oop, just a half an hour. That's pretty good. If you have any questions, please make sure to message those. I'm still not getting any comments, so I'm hoping that I'm being clear with my demonstration tonight. So thanks again for joining me. And starting next week, I'm going to be starting the Halloween projects because it's getting close to Halloween. If you look around in all the shopping malls, all those Halloween stores are start popping up. And Halloween is a very, very popular holiday here where I live. So there's lots of people already making big plans for their Halloween celebrations. So let me show you what we'll be making next time. This is a little gift box with a window that has little gummy worms inside. And this uses the Monster Mash suite from the new catalog. So we'll be making this box next time, okay? And it has a little window sheet in there. And then I put a little tag on the bag of gummy worms. But this is an adorable set called Monster Bash. And we will be making this little gift box next time. So please join me next Tuesday. If there's any of the products you saw that I used today that you're interested in, you can go to my website, which is thewexfordstamper.blogspot.com. And you will be able to find the link to the catalog there. And of course, if you have any questions, let me know. Please don't forget to share, and you might be the winner of a paper pumpkin for next week. So take care, have a great week, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.